Hi. So today's video is about the upside of saying no. And developmentally, there is a stage at the age of 2 where children begin saying no. And they love the power of that no. You know, it's kind of no, no, no. And it can be quite frustrating for the adults in the children's world at that point because, let's have dinner, no, let's have a shower, no, let's go to bed, no. And what can happen is that as adults, we want to get things done. So we tend to sort of knock that will down. And we're not doing it to be mean, but what's happening is that, we want to get things done. But that exercise of will that is happening at that point is very, very important later on in adulthood because this is what allows perseverance. This is what allows someone to stay focused and stay committed to what it is that they want in life. And so that exercise of will is actually very important. And if we didn't practice it in our childhood and we didn't get to establish our autonomy at that stage, then at one point in our life, the challenge of the no is going to come up again. And what tends to happen is if we've been brought up to be very responsible and very, very good girl or good person, then a lot of guilt tends to be attached with that no. And so no is very important because successful people will always attest to the power of no and to the power of saying no to what wasn't on target for them. So basically part of their success is being laser focused on what it is that they wanted to create. So therefore being comfortable saying no to what doesn't feature in that plan. And so in this video, I want to discuss the upside. So when I was in my 20s, and I remember, I was in the world of finance and there was a lot going on in my world. And I remember once wanting to, get out of a dinner I'd said yes to. And one of my best friends from college was living in London at the time. And she said to me, there's something amazing that happens when you say no, in that the other person benefits from that no. And that was such a novel idea to me that my cancelling would actually be in the advantage of the other person. So I tried it. I was like, I have too much going on and I'm really feeling stretched and I need to get out of this plan. And there was an immediate sort of energetic relief that I felt from the other side, and it was so novel for me that if the energy is not moving me, it's actually the right thing for the other person as well. And sometimes the other person might not even be aware of the advantage it offers them, because what might happen is with that person kind of being stuck at home or without a plan for that evening, they might end up doing something, making a call, doing something that's actually in their interest and that they wouldn't have done had they been busy with me. And so therefore we have to trust that if the energy is not moving us, there's, in the big scheme of things, in this sort of big plan, there is an advantage for the other person in that no as well. And the third part of this is when we say no, as in we're looking after ourselves and our needs and being true to us, then we are instantly rewarded by life. And this is something that I have learned, I have gone on discovering, and I'm always so surprised because no tends to be a challenge. It tends to have a little bit of that guilt associated with it. So when I do come up with my no because I have to for extreme self-care, it is always an immediate. So let's say a plan would have been for a dinner in a pizzeria, and I cancel, and what I get instantly on the phone is like, okay, well fine, why don't we go to Nobu tomorrow night? And it's like I get an upside from that. And even, this is just an example, but try it for yourself. See what happens when you're true to you and when you're respecting yourself and saying no. And to what's too much for you, what's just doesn't feel right energetically for you. So my work is all about following the energy and trusting that the energy is actually steering us to do what's right for us at the right moment. There is really a big picture plan in that energetic shift, which tends to be our intuition essentially speaking. And when we listen to that and we go along with it and we trust it, then we are rewarded by life. There is such a big reward that shows up, and it's continual, it's ongoing. And the word no requires courage. And being true to ourselves and living a life that's very authentically us requires courage. Courage comes from the word cœur in French. So I always reiterate that, because to live your truth, to live your most amazing life, it's going to require courage at every stage of this path. But the more you rise with being true to you and saying no when it's necessary, the more you will reap the rewards. And I'd love to hear about some of your success stories as you embark on a more powerful no, a no that's said with grace and with love, and a no that is genuinely true to you. I believe really it's a journey that is very, very satisfying and very rewarding. And I'm in the business of empowering you, inspiring you to live your truth, to live a life that you love. And so when the feeling is a no, trust that and go with it, and share with me your results, or your success results. And if you find this helpful and you know someone else who might also benefit from this message, please share. I would love to know that my videos are reaching who they need to reach. And I wish you a lovely day. Bye.